Ha, ha, ha.
Oh my God. Is she okay?
What's the matter, you baby girl? Might as well stop it because we're going to have to start again.
Welcome back to the Ghosty Girls podcast. I'm Christina.
Oh, no, I'm Alicia.
Sorry, my dog decided to get vocal. Are you okay? Are you okay?
She's the most beautiful girl in the history of the girls.
She just smiled. Did you see her? Oh, she's trying to talk into the mic.
Come here. Hey, you come here. There's no cords. There's just one there. You can step over that. Come here.
Yeah, she has a weird thing with cords.
I know.
She doesn't like to step over them or go under them. I don't know.
She's a sweet little baby.
Yeah, she is. So what are we talking about today?
Well, you're going to have to cut a bunch of that out. I'm so sorry.
I'll leave some of it in because it's cute.
I don't think people got enough of this.
Oh my God, more Dahlia.
We're playing soft rock for a busy world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Dahlia on B105.7.
You're welcome.
Did you do Dahlia because it ties in with something that you're doing?
Maybe.
Uh-oh.
Get ready.
Oh, I'm nervous.
So anywho, I decided to do another case that would give me the opportunity to botch the name again.
Oh, no.
And I also promised my friend Amanda and her daughter Lydia, oh, hey, ladies, honestly, like a year ago or more, that I would do this one. So today I am reviewing the life, the death, and the theory. Well, it's going to be a two-parter.
Okay.
So it's going to be the life and the death. And then next week will be the theories and conspiracies about Elizabeth Short, a.k.a. the Black Dahlia. God damn it.
Did you just say the Black Dahlia?
The Black Dahlia.
Oh, man, I'm nervous for this one. This is a big undertaking.
Yeah, and I did it, so it's going to be terrible. Just kidding. It's going to be great.
No, I don't think it's going to be bad. It's just a lot. It is a lot.
It is a lot. I've been doing it little by little, here by there, like taking notes on my phone and then like transferring them over. Like it's...
Yeah, because I know there are so many like books and documentaries.
Oh, I don't read, so, you know.
And all kinds of shit about the Black Dahlia. And also tons of theories and yeah, it's a crazy one.
So I think next week is going to be more in depth because it is going to be the theories and conspiracies and all that stuff. But today it's just the life, the death, and investigation.
Okay.
So Elizabeth Short was born on July 29th, 1924 in Hyde Park, Massachusetts. That's
She was an East Coast girl.
Yep, the land of the mass holes, as we call them.
Mass holes.
Sorry if you're from Massachusetts.
I've only, I've been to Boston.
Yeah, me too.
I enjoyed it.
Yep.
I liked Boston.
Honestly, I heard somebody say mass holes in Massachusetts, and I haven't stopped calling the people that live there that since.
You know what's funny is I've never heard that before.
Really?
No.
I thought it was hysterical. But Elizabeth was in the exact middle of her 4 other sisters.
Okay.
And to say it normally, she was the third of 5 daughters born to her parents, Cleo Short and Phoebe May Sawyer Short.
That's a lot of girls.
That's a lot of girls. The Short family did not have a lot of money, of course, but they were able to get by. Cleo had a pretty neat job, in my opinion, where he would build miniature golf courses. It was the 1920s, though, and the economy was booming until it wasn't. Enter the Great Depression. At this point, no one could afford to play mini golf, let alone build a new course. And just like that, the Shorts lost nearly everything financially.
That sucks.
I know, it breaks my heart. Everything in Elizabeth's world and in her family collapsed, basically causing Elizabeth's father, Cleo, to make a decision that would permanently scar not only Elizabeth, but her whole family. One day in 1930, Cleo's car was discovered abandoned near the Charleston Bridge. No one, including his family, could find him, and everyone just feared that he had taken his own life since his car was found by a bridge.
Right.
Spoiler alert. He didn't take his own life. This piece of shit abandoned his family, leaving them to believe that he was dead.
Could they at least collect insurance money on him?
I don't know.
Because that would be doing a favor.
That would be doing a favor.
I mean, I'm assuming that they found out he was alive later on.
Later on, yes.
Oh, gosh.
Yep.
It's crazy.
So essentially, like, I'll tell you what he did. I'm sorry. This mother trucker decided to, we're going to say Eat, Pray, Love. What's that movie? Eat, Pray, Sleep? Eat, Pray, Love?
Eat, pray, love.
I'm going to say Eat, Pray, Sleep because that's my, yeah. He did that all the way to sunny California while he left his wife and 5 daughters to fend for themselves.
That's really sad.
Yeah. Think about it. In Massachusetts, it gets cold as shit there.
Yeah.
So Phoebe did her best, but of course struggled to feed 5 daughters alone during one of the hardest economic periods in American history.
Oh.
Now, poor Elizabeth not only has middle child syndrome, but also has daddy abandonment issues. And it would really affect her later in life. Mm-hmm. Her friends described her as deeply needy for affection and validation.
Yeah, that's what happens when you don't have a father figure in your life, or if you do, but they're neglectful.
Yep.
It sucks. Daddy issues are a real thing, man.
Real thing. From what I read, she was often sick as a child. And of course she was, because like I said before, it gets cold as shit in Massachusetts. Mm-hmm. Side story. We went there one year for a convention in like early spring, and there were mounds of snow that were bigger than my house. And
I believe it.
It hadn't snowed there for a month. Like that was just leftover snow. Back to the story, sorry. Elizabeth mostly suffered from severe bronchitis and asthma attacks, just like all of us here in Delaware.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's an East Coast thing.
I know. We go from like ice storms to pollen flurries.
It's so bad.
I know. Doctors believed that the cold masshole winters made her condition worse. Of course it did. And eventually she ended up having lung surgery.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So between 1939 and 1942, she would spend her winters in Florida with family and friends to avoid the cold winters in Massachusetts.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I know.
Interesting. I wonder why her mom didn't just go and live there if they had family there, but
Yeah, well, I guess her 4 other sisters.
yeah.
Maybe school. I don't know. Now that Elizabeth had a chance to experience a bit of what she thought of as like fancy freedom, sunshine, kind of like an escape.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
She became obsessed with all things beauty. She also became obsessed with movies, the movie star aesthetic, and glamour. Elizabeth began dressing elegantly and told everyone she was going to become an actress. Girl, same. Just kidding. I don't dress elegantly. Nor could I be an actress. She had the look, too. Have you seen pictures of her?
Yeah, she was beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful.
She looked like a doll.
She did. She had those high cheekbones. Mm-hmm. As she grew and became older, people remembered her as strikingly pale, but like in a pretty way, if that makes sense.
Like a doll. Yeah.
Like a porcelain doll. A porcelain doll.
I said porcelain. Like
Porcelain.
a porcelain doll.
She had beautiful dark hair and piercing green eyes. Mm-hmm. And she always had makeup on.
Yeah, she was very glamorous.
Mm-hmm. Now, Elizabeth was smart, too. She understood that her appearance could open doors, and she used her looks to hide the instability and wondering that was going on inside of her head.
Okay.
The family continued to struggle, and eventually Elizabeth dropped out of school and began working side jobs. And she did whatever she could to help with the bills. But just when things looked like they were never going to get better, Phoebe, her mom, received a letter from California. And guess who it was from?
Her dad.
Shithead Cleo himself. Seriously, think about that. You like think your dad offed himself and left you all to struggle without even thinking about helping. Boom. All of a sudden he's alive and living his best life in California. Like, what?
What a piece of shit.
I know. He had gotten himself a job on a military base and work had been steady. Yeah. When Elizabeth heard this, she actually decided to reconnect with her dad. I personally think it was so that she could see California firsthand, to be honest.
Oh, I don't blame her. Yeah, use him for what he's worth. Fuck him.
Yeah, exactly. Right?
Sounds horrible, but
take those steps as an actress, girl. Get there. Get
you
there.
You do you, boo-boo.
Mm-hmm. So now it's the early 1940s. World War II is currently happening, and Elizabeth and her father have reconnected. He offered her an opportunity to come live with him in Vallejo, California. He said she can stay with him if she would do the cooking and the cleaning. So Elizabeth packed her bags and rolled out.
Roll out.
I was thinking that to 10s and 20s.
Roll out.
popped up. At first, things seemed hopeful, and the pair were like getting along really great, kind of making up for lost time, if you will.
Okay.
Apparently, though, Elizabeth, like me, was a shitty housewife. After about a month of her supposedly doing nothing that she promised, she instead began partying, bringing home strange men, and staying out all night.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Cleo sat her down and was like, listen, this is dumb. You gotta go.
Did he kick her out?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, father of the year over there, man.
I'm telling you. I don't know what he actually said to her, but he did ask her to leave.
No, so he kicked her out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now Elizabeth is basically by herself in California, but instead of packing up her bags and going home, she decided to make the best of the situation and began drifting around and seeing the sights. She would work for short periods as like a waitress in different cities, use her tips to stay in cheap hotels, ultimately landing in LA.
Okay.
Los Angeles, if anybody didn't know that, by LA, which that would be crazy. But just in case. Elizabeth did make a lot of friends during her travels and would stay with them as well. And many of her friends would describe Elizabeth as flirtatious and very, very charming. A few sources suggested that Elizabeth would exaggerate a lot. For example, she would tell people that she was a war widow or already an actress. And she would basically make herself be anyone that she thought the person she was talking to wanted her to be.
She was like a chameleon. Mm-hmm.
Debs, Yomi, Coke Zero. I mean, it really does sound like she was struggling with some sort of mental illness, if you really think about it.
I'm sure she was. Yeah.
I mean, God bless.
And of course, back then, like mental illness wasn't a thing. So, yeah. It's not like her parents could be, well, I mean, of course her dad wouldn't because he's a piece of shit, but it's not like a caring parent would be like, oh, I think she's going through some shit. Let me get her in therapy. It wasn't like that in the 40s.
No, they put them in an insane asylum and say peace out.
Correct. Yes, that's what happened to my great-great-great-great-grandmother.
Can we throw back to our episode on lobotomies? That was a great episode.
Thank you. It didn't. It wasn't one of our highest listened to ones for whatever reason.
Which is weird because that was a great episode.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
You got
But
it.
yeah, I mean, lobotomies were. I mean, it was around that time.
Yeah.
then, too.
I'm pretty sure. Men and women were both drawn to her, and they really did seem to enjoy her company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because she had like that magnetic personality.
Yeah.
It wasn't even just her looks, I don't think. I think people were just like drawn to her.
Yeah, I think she was probably like the fun girl.
Yes. Yeah, she was the party girl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, think about where she was and the fact that World War II was in full swing.
Yep.
We already know that Elizabeth enjoyed the nightlife, which was and still is always available in LA. But now, because of the war, LA was also covered in smoking hot military men. Hey, girl.
Hey.
I actually read somewhere that Elizabeth got a steadier job working on a military base.
Okay.
And she like worked in the store on that base.
Okay.
That would explain the amount of time she was spending around all the local Army and Air Force bases if she worked on one, right?
Yeah.
I mean, she could have also just been dating a bunch of military men too. Who knows?
Yeah,
God
I mean,
bless her.
either way, I'm not mad at it.
Nope.
So you?
Eventually, Elizabeth met a man,
Okay.
Major Matt Gordon, and they quickly fell in love. He was the only one for her, and she was the only one for him. And I read that they even had plans to get married.
Okay.
And since Matt was a major and there was a war to fight, they had to put their plans on hold, of course, and Matt was deployed. In August of 1945, Matt was killed in a plane crash in India.
Oh.
I know. When I read this, that broke my heart for her. Ugh.
I wonder how different her life would have been had he survived and
I
they got
know.
married, and she probably would have been a little housewife with kids and
Yeah. I know.
probably lived a long life.
Think about how much she was already struggling with, like, instability and abandonment and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
and then the love of your life just isn't in your life anymore, and it's not his fault, but still,
No.
like, you still feel abandoned
Yeah.
if you have abandonment issues. Like, you still feel like that's hard.
I know. She finally had someone to love and who loved her, and she finally had her, like, sights.
She's getting her shit together.
Yeah. She finally had a future. essentially.
That's really sad.
I know. And after Matt passed, Elizabeth became, of course, withdrawn and even more transient than she already was.
Mm-hmm.
She would continue to bounce between friends' homes and hotels and work in different restaurants and just bebop around, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
She reportedly drank heavily at times, but was never considered dangerous or violent.
Mm-hmm.
And I might have already said this, but to me, it kind of sounds like she was a lost soul just trying to find peace.
Yeah, and she very well could have been struggling from mental illness.
Yeah. And people at this point in her life described her as kind, naive, and of course, emotionally vulnerable.
Yeah.
Despite her life and mental health at this point, she still dressed classy and represented herself as fashionable, still wanting to become an actress, I believe.
Okay.
A few years later in January 1947. Here we go. I do just want to point out first that Elizabeth was only 22 years old at this point. She is still in LA and still staying with friends and at hotels, any of them that she could afford. And I know I keep saying that, but I want to just make that point apparent that she was just bebopping around again.
Yeah, and I feel like with this case, one of the things that gets lost in it is how young she was.
22.
She was so young.
So young. So one of the last confirmed sightings of Elizabeth was on January 9th, 1947 again, when she was seen at the Biltmore Hotel in downtown Los Angeles. Witnesses described her wearing a black skirt and a sheer blouse, dressed, again, very elegant, and she appeared as if she was waiting for someone or possibly meeting someone.
Okay.
After that, her movements become uncertain to friends. Some people reportedly saw her out and about, but the final person to see Elizabeth alive was one of her friends whom she called Red.
Mm-hmm.
Red was a married salesman by the name of Robert Manley. Red told police that he dropped Elizabeth off near the Biltmore Hotel on January 9th, and then Elizabeth vanished with no one seeing her for 6 days.
Near? Not at.
Not at. But then people saw her
odd.
at. Yeah.
That's odd. Why didn't you drop her off at?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah, Red, you crazy guy.
It's an interesting keyword to note.
Yes.
I think about that, and it's you and I are friends, right?
Yeah.
He was friends with her. So if I wouldn't I wouldn't drop you off near somewhere. I would drop you. I don't know why I'm hung up on that. It just seems odd to me.
It does.
If you were you know what? Can you give me a ride to the mall? I'd be like, you know what? I'm going to drop you off near.
Yes.
But not at.
Exactly.
I don't know. It's just weird to me.
So I think maybe she was meeting a guy and she's like, I don't want him to think I'm a slut. So drop me off over here because you and I are just friends. But if he sees me with a guy,
maybe.
I don't know.
It's interesting.
But they did eventually deem Robert Manley not a suspect. His alibi's all worked out.
Okay.
Supposedly, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Who knows? There's so many freaking theories. But again, we'll get into that next week. Okay, the morning of January 15th, 1947.
And at this point, she had been missing for 6 days?
For 6 days, yes. I digressed.
Was she ever reported missing?
No, because she was so transient, nobody knew.
Okay, gotcha.
So around 10 a.m., a woman named Betty Bersinger was walking with her child through a vacant lot in Leimert Park. It might be Leimert Park. I'm not sure. Okay. Would you like me to spell it? Great. Leimert Park. It sounds like it wasn't populated because of the word vacant, but apparently it could turn into sort of a busy place, and it was right next to a sidewalk. So when Betty was taking in the scenery, she was confused when she saw a piece of a mannequin next to the sidewalk. Of course, it was a mannequin.
I always think it's a mannequin.
I know. As Betty got closer, she realized it was an actual body. Betty grabbed her child and ran to the nearest phone, calling the authorities. I didn't actually see that anywhere. I just added that in. So I don't know if that's what happened, but I'm assuming that's what happened. When they got to the scene, they, meaning the authorities, they were met with a naked corpse that had been severed cleanly at the waist. The police didn't know that it was Elizabeth at the time, and honestly, they wouldn't have been able to tell anyway because her face had been cut from the corners of her mouth up to her ears. I always think of this as a Joker type cut, but apparently it has like several different names. This one took me. I was like, wait, what? There's names for this? Like it happens that often?
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm going to go into it because I was shocked. The first and original name is the Glasgow cut. And that is because, and I quote from the Google, a Glasgow smile. A Glasgow smile is a brutal form of violence or torture where a victim's mouth is slashed from the corners up towards the ears, leaving a permanent grinning scar. It originated in the early 20th century in Glasgow, Scotland, popularized by street gangs as a method to mark or punish rivals.
Interesting.
I'm going to digress. I'm going to tell you the other names too because it fascinated me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's also called a Chelsea grin, and this term was coined later in the 1960s and 70s when the form of torture apparently came back and was prominent in the Chelsea area in London. It had something to do with a soccer team or something. I don't really know.
Okay.
Other names are the Cheshire Cat, which is the mischievous and disappearing cat from Alice in Wonderland. If you don't know, watch it. Am I right in saying his smile was the last thing you saw when he would like disappear? Or was it his eyes? It was his smile, right?
I think it was a smile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then another name was the Buck 50.
What?
This one derived from the size of the cut, as people would say they cut about 1.5 inches from the corner of your mouth.
Oh.
So giving you that little smile. I don't know. That one I think is more of like the Joker because it's not all the way up to the ears. But
yeah,
I digress. Back to Elizabeth. I'm so sorry for that.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if like that type of wound was like done on purpose because of her beauty.
Maybe.
Like to really deface her. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you think you're so beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. It seems personal to me, but
it seems personal.
Yeah.
The whole thing seems personal to me.
Yeah.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah.
The body was completely drained of all blood and was washed clean. And they believe that whoever did it used gasoline to wash the body because it removes everything. I imagine this is why Betty thought she saw a mannequin because, I mean, without blood, it's stark white. And she was already pale to start with, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. So Elizabeth's upper body had been posed with her arms above her head as if she was like modeling, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a play on her beauty, I bet. It had to have been, right?
It had to have been. Maybe it was a woman that was jealous.
I think this was a man's crime.
What if it was
But I'm sure we'll talk about that
and a
in
woman.
the theories.
Dun, dun, dun.
You never know.
I know. The bottom half, which was again not attached to the top half, was about 1 foot to the left of her torso, with her legs, of course, spread wide apart.
That's a man.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You right. Her fingernails were chewed to the quick. And I don't know if she did it or maybe like they were smart enough. Well, there wasn't DNA back then.
I think that I think she probably did that.
Probably did that.
I mean, but I don't know. What do I know? I'm just some bitch.
Some
but
bitch.
I mean, people didn't care about DNA back then because it wasn't a thing.
That's true. And only her big toenail on each foot was painted red.
That is weird.
Is it though? Because when I was doing this, I, of course, listened to Queen Billy Sarian's episode, and she made actually a really good point about this. She said that, you know, if you wear open-toed shoes, especially back then, like, you know, they had that little like V and you could only see your big toe out of it.
Oh.
And she had said, you know, I can't question this as hard because I've worn open-toed shoes before and looked down and been like, damn, I got to paint my toenails. And she said, you know, I'll only paint my big toenail because that's the only one anyone's going to see.
I see.
I couldn't do that because my shoes are off the second I put a heel on, you know, but.
What's interesting, though, is if she was going to meet a man, you would think that she would have painted all of them, right?
Well, if she was expecting to take her shoes off with said man.
Well,
yeah.
She was going to a hotel, correct?
Well, they saw her at the hotel and she looked like she was meeting someone.
Right. So you would think that she would have the intention of taking her shoes off, no?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, next week's is going to be fun diving into this.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time since I've looked into this case, but I know that there are a shit ton of theories.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
And I'll
Kind of like Jack the Ripper almost. Like how
Yeah.
there's so many, like, I mean, there's Hollywood conspiracies. There's, I mean, it's crazy.
Yep. And I'll touch on like a couple of them of what we'll start talking about next week. But yeah, there's a lot. So investigators, of course, they were shocked when they saw her condition. And it was clear that whoever did this to her had some sort of medical or surgical or even like butcher type experience.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Before they could even process what they were seeing, though, guess who was on the scene? Media. When I say media, it was the 1940s. So the press,
Yeah.
the reporters, if you will. With the press came the freaking stories. So the press basically transformed Elizabeth Short into almost like a mythological creature,
Yeah.
if you will, overnight, giving her the nickname the Black Dahlia.
I'm not completely familiar with all of the ins and outs of this case. Did they ever say why they called her the Black Dahlia?
Yes.
Okay.
So I read that the name likely emerged from reporters referencing a film that had just came out like a week or shortly before her murder happened, and it was called the Blue Dahlia.
Okay.
So I don't know why.
It's kind of like a pop culture reference, I guess.
I think so, yeah.
That's odd.
Maybe because she had black hair. I don't know. But that's what I read.
Okay, interesting.
Onto the investigation a little bit. Using fingerprints and dental records, the LAPD was able to determine the victim was, in fact, Elizabeth Short just 56 minutes after receiving her fingerprints.
Wow.
I know.
That's pretty yeah, that's impressive for being the 40s.
Yeah,
right?
and they had over 1 million fingerprints to go through, and they were able...
Wow.
So they had Elizabeth's fingerprints because she had applied and worked as a clerk at an army base in
Yeah,
California.
that makes sense. Yep.
And you have to, I think any position on a military base, even then and now, you have to get fingerprinted.
Makes sense.
Elizabeth was also arrested for underage drinking in 1943.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And that was just 7 months after she applied to work on the California Army base. So they had 2 of her
okay.
fingerprints pretty close in time span, I guess. I
Yeah,
don't know if that matters, but who knows? This is also where the infamous mugshot of her came from. The one that you
We've
see.
all
Everybody uses
seen
it.
it.
Yep. So with this information, the LAPD launched one of the biggest murder investigations in city history. They put hundreds, that's what my sources said, hundreds of detectives and investigators on the case.
Wow.
Hundreds of people were also interviewed, which over the years turned into thousands.
Wow.
I know, it's crazy. Journalists painted the Black Dahlia as a seductive femme fatale type, if you will, aka like a lady of the night.
Yeah, of course they did.
Yeah. So there was little evidence, though, that she was an actual sex worker, despite the
she was.
decades of rumors. Yeah, I don't think she was either. And her friends reported when they heard this that Elizabeth would go on dates for free meals and companionship because she simply lacked money.
Okay.
Like, it wasn't about like getting paid for sex. She was just like, yeah, sure, I'll get a free meal.
Yeah, why not? Shit.
So this is why you cannot believe everything you hear in the media. People be making up shit all the time, trying to gain clout and views at other people's expenses. That shit pisses me off.
Yep.
So other media outlets were quick to show and tell the gruesome crime scene for profit. I do feel very bad for Elizabeth. It's like she was victimized
Even in death, yeah.
like twice. I mean, more than twice.
Yeah.
Realistically, she was killed. And like, we're still talking about her today,
Yeah. Well, it's weird to say and it's morbid to say, but in a way, she got the infamy that she was looking for.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say that, but...
No, I mean, it's true, though. Clearly, it was immediate chaos, as you can imagine. With reporters doing their shit and having so many people working on the case from the LAPD, it was just bananas.
Yeah.
On January 24th, 1947, this was a week after Elizabeth's body was found, the Los Angeles Examiner, which was the premier newspaper at the time, received a package that was addressed to the Herald Express Crime Department, aka the editorial staff. The package smelled like it had been doused in gasoline.
Oh, no.
And it was, in fact, doused with gasoline in an effort to remove any fingerprints. Upon opening, it would be the closest the detectives would come to finding Elizabeth's killer. The package contained Elizabeth's birth certificate,
Wow.
photographs of Elizabeth when she was alive, business cards from various people, and her address book. It also included a letter in which the words were made from newspaper clippings that read, and I quote, "Here is Black Dahlia's belongings." And this package has since been dubbed the killer's souvenirs.
Where did they get that stuff from?
Her purse.
She carried her birth certificate around in her purse? Wow.
She didn't have a home.
Oh, yeah.
I guess that was probably her form of ID. I don't think she had a license.
Oh, Jesus.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yep. So detectives, of course, went to work immediately studying every single piece, and they were able to find a fingerprint on the envelope.
Oh, wow.
But due to the gasoline as well as the general transit the fingerprint went through, it was too compromised to use. Of course it was. They also found that there was a missing page in her address book. And their thoughts were that it was probably the page that had the killer's information on it. But there was nothing they could do with it. Like, they couldn't make that page appear, of course.
Right.
So shortly after this package arrived, another letter in the same format was received. It said that the killer would confess and surrender on January 29th, 1947, and was signed the Black Dahlia Avenger.
Avenger?
Avenger. So unfortunately,
That's weird.
yeah, the Avenger was incorrect and no surrender ever happened.
That one was probably a hoax.
Probably.
Well, if they read it in the same style, maybe not. They were just fucking with them.
So here's another thing that blew my mind. Detectives interviewed anyone and everyone they could think of, from actors, bartenders, military men, gangsters, other police officers, and especially doctors and surgeons. There were, and don't quote me on this, but it's close to 200 false confessions, if not over, and no one was ever charged.
Why are 200 people confessing to this?
200. That's crazy. I mean, that's over time. That's not like immediately, but
What the fuck?
yeah.
Well, I mean, wow. Okay.
Yeah. That being said, the theories and potential stories of what actually happened, where she was killed, and who could do this began. And that is where I'm leaving off this week. And next week, we will dive into the theories of doctors, mortuary assistants, students from a local medical school,
Wow.
Hollywood and elite conspiracies and rituals, and even local police cover-ups.
Wow.
So someone out there knew who did this.
Yeah.
But who? That's what I want to know. That's what everybody wants to know. But we might not ever know. Damn it. I hate it.
Crazy.
I know. I just hope that Elizabeth is at peace. You know? I mean, she never really got justice, but I hope she's at peace.
Yeah. Crazy story, man.
Next week's going to be fun, though.
Yay.
I mean,
well,
as fun as it can.
I was going to
be.
say.
I don't know.
All right. I'm excited.
I know. I would say let's eat our mows that just got here again, but I never hit the order button. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Alicia forgot to order our lunch, so I'm just going to sit here and waste away.
She's turning into a nothing.
I'm emaciated. I'm dehydrated. I've got nothing to eat.
I'm telling you, there's
It's all
a
her
banana
fault.
I brought. You can have half of my banana. Eat that dumpling.
It's too ripe for me. The banana's too ripe for me. I don't like them that ripe. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But
Well,
thank you. Thank you for offering.
You're so welcome. Sorry. Anywho.
Yeah, we'll see you next week for part deux.
Do?
Part deux.
Dos?
Deux.
Un, deux, trois?
Part deux.
part number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Of Dahlia Dippolito. I'm just kidding.
no. The Black Dahlia. Because we
Yes.
haven't said Dahlia enough on this episode.
Delilah. See you next Tuesday.
Don't be one.
Bye.
Bye.